This is Nigeria's first family healthy lifestyle and edutainment radio station, 107.3 Darling FM. Hello and welcome to the World News. I am Paul Emogene. Here are the headlines. President Buhari and his vice to receive COVID-19 vaccine on Saturday. Imo State House of Assembly gets new majority leader. Imo State government set to receive COVID-19 vaccine. And Duke of Edibong undergoes successful heart surgery. Details shortly. President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will receive shots of AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine on Saturday. Executive Director, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Faisal Shuaibu, revealed this to the State House correspondent in Abuja. According to Shuaibu, the exercise will boost the confidence of Nigerians to receive the about 4 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine, which was shipped into the country this week. Dr. Shuaibu said the launch of the vaccine will be taking place at the National Hospital tomorrow and will be conducted by the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa. The plan is to vaccinate the frontline health workers that work in the treatment center of the National Hospital. After that, the plan will be to vaccinate President Buhari and Vice President Osinbajo and other strategic leaders on Saturday. Meanwhile, Minister of Health Osage Hanires has convened a meeting with commissioners for health in the 36 states as part of efforts to ensure effective sharing and distribution of COVID-19 vaccine. The Plateau State Commissioner for Health, Nikon La, and his counterpart in Cross River State, Betta Edu, disclosed this to newsmen in Abuja. It was gathered that some commissioners met the federal government officials on Wednesday over the distribution of the vaccine. Nigeria on Tuesday received 3.94 million doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, becoming the third African country to benefit from the COVAX facility after Ghana and Ivory Coast. Recall that the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency had on Monday commenced online registration of Nigerians interested in taking COVID-19 vaccination. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) has asked President Muhammadu Buhari to investigate all the alleged missing 11 trillion naira funds allocated for the execution of electricity project since 1999. Speaking at a press conference, SERAP's Deputy Director Oluwadare Kolawole said, despite President Buhari's promise to intensify the fight against corruption, access to regular electricity supply has become almost non-existent due to systematic and widespread corruption in this sector. In an address, Kolawole asked the National Assembly to publish the report of all power sector-related probes to the federal government and civil society organizations for necessary advocacy action and prosecution by relevant anti-corruption agencies. He also asked the World Bank President, David Malpass, to release information and documents relating to spending of funds approved and released to Nigeria between 1999 and 2020 to improve access to regular and uninterrupted electricity supply, including copies of supervision reports, periodic reviews, and other appropriate reports by the bank. House of Representatives Committee on Public Account has discovered that the account of the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission has never been audited since it was established in 1993. This was revealed at the investigative hearing by the Committee on Audit Queries issued against ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. The Auditor General of the Federation had told the committee that it had no information in respect of the Commission's audited accounts. Members of the committee were miffed by the revelation, describing it as a gross misconduct for the Commission not to have rendered its account in the 28 years of its existence. The committee also asked acting chairman of the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission, Ekbo Nta, who previously appeared before the lawmakers, to reappear before it, stating that the committee needs to understand what the law says about the commission, stressing that the law should be respected. To curb the continual spread of coronavirus in the country, Imo State government says the state is ready to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. This was disclosed to our Government House correspondent by the Commissioner for Information, Declan Emelumba, after the executive meeting at the Government House.
Imo State is ready to receive the COVID-19 vaccines any moment from now. We're expecting delivery tomorrow or next. We have 305 solar-powered refrigerators that have already been assigned to the 305 INEC wards in the state. So these refrigerators are solar powered, so it means that it doesn't need electricity to work. And so far, government has released money for the training of those who will do the vaccination. They're undergoing training now, and we're expecting that any moment from now we take delivery of the vaccine.
The commissioner also used the same medium to warn Imolites to quit transaction funds into non-governmental account, adding that violators of this rule will face unpleasant consequences.
Giving final notice against partaking in leakages in revenue coming to the government. Henceforth, no cash receipts will be accepted by the government for any form of transaction. All payments must be done through the banks. No cash receipts, and those payments must be routed through the TSA account of the government.
Member representing Ikeduru State constituency in the Imo State House of Assembly, Honorable Uche Ogbuagu, has been removed as the majority leader of the House. Speaker of the Imo State House of Assembly, Honorable Paul Emezie, made this known during plenary at the Hallowed Chamber today. According to the Speaker, the decision was made after the meeting of the APC caucus in the House of Assembly.
After the meeting of the Imo State House of Assembly members of the APC extraction, and that is APC caucus, and after exhausting all the agenda of the meeting, the following decisions were reached. 1. The House declared their unalloyed support for His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, the Governor of Imo State, for showing capacity and sagacity in the leadership of the APC party and the state at large. 2. To notify the House of the following changes in the leadership of the caucus of the party in the Imo State House of Assembly. A. Honorable Uche Ogbuagu, member representing Ikeduru State constituency, is now the former majority leader, and Honorable Kanayo Onimechi is now the current majority leader of APC caucus in the Imo State House of Assembly. Thank you.
The Imo State House of Assembly later adjourned sitting to Tuesday, 9th of March, 2021. Oyo State government has approved the sum of 319 million naira for the procurement of 20 units of pickup vans as part of measures to further boost security in the state. Briefing newsmen in Ibadan at the end of the State Executive Council meeting, Wasio Olatubosun, Commissioner for Information, Culture and Tourism, said the move was to enhance logistics of security agencies in the state. Olatubosun said the Makinde-led administration was committed to the security of lives and properties of residents and therefore was taking proactive measures to tackle the current security challenges in the state. According to him, it is necessary to boost the efforts of the administration in further arresting the situation by procuring additional vehicles for security agencies and for other exigency purposes. This is 107.3 Darling FM Owerri. If you're just joining us, you are listening to the world news. In the news, President Buhari and his vice to receive COVID-19 vaccine on Saturday. Imo State House of Assembly gets new majority leader. Imo State government set to receive COVID-19 vaccine. And still to come, Duke of Edinburgh undergoes successful heart surgery. Still ahead is business report. Stay tuned.
Missed any of the developing stories during the week? Do you want to get up to speed with the news? Tune in to the People's Radio 107.3 Darling FM at noon every Saturday for the Week in Review. The Week in Review, reminding you of the week's stories today.
Now to the foreign scene. The Catholic Church in Tanzania says 60 nuns and 25 priests have died in the East African nation in the last 2 months after showing symptoms of coronavirus. President John Magufuli has previously played down the virus, and last month the health minister said that Tanzania had no plans to vaccinate. But Father Charles Kitima, secretary of the Tanzania Episcopal Conference, an official assembly of Catholic bishops, said the COVID-19 threat was alive in Tanzania. He says it is upon everyone to make sure that they take all the required precautions and protect themselves and others, especially the elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions, at a press conference in Dar es Salaam. Queen Elizabeth's 99-year-old husband, Prince Philip, has undergone a successful heart procedure. According to the Buckingham Palace, the Duke of Edinburgh underwent a successful procedure for a pre-existing heart condition at St. Bartholomew's Hospital and was later transferred to a cardiac unit in London. The palace says Prince Philip will remain in hospital for treatment, where he was going to get rest and recuperate for a number of days. In business news, Senate Public Account Committee has berated the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation for paying 443 billion naira without the National Assembly's appropriation. The chairman of the committee, Senator Matthew Urogide, has summoned the management of the NNPC to explain the expenditure it made without budgetary provision. The committee took the decision based on the 2016 report of the Auditor General of the Federation, which is currently being scrutinized. The Auditor General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, told the committee that the NNPC will be in a better position to explain the extra budgetary spending query. Meanwhile, the Senate panel also summoned the Central Bank of Nigeria over the alleged disappearance of $9.5 million being interest on the investment, petroleum profit tax, royalty, and foreign excess crude. And that ends the world news, as produced by Uchoma Sophia Afolabi. You can reach our desk for news coverage and send your eyewitness report to 0818-732-5104 or email to darlingfmnews@gmail.com. And you can also listen to Darling FM anywhere in the world. Go to www.darlingfm.ng and click to listen. Stay safe, everyone, and don't forget to wash your hands regularly. Soap is sufficient to deactivate the coronavirus. I am Paul Emogene. News update is at 5 p.m. Good afternoon.